Your presence is the most important thing. Just being able to like look them in the eyes and like get on a level with them. Just give yourself a break. Like you just can't do it all.
You basically shot to fame from taking Beau to Glastonbury. Is this correct?
I took him to a festival when he was 10 months old. The videos from that were so popular, and then the next year I took him to Glastonbury and kind of became known as like festival baby. I think people loved it because they were like, oh, my life doesn't have to change that much. I don't know, I think people see it as you have a child and then you have to stop doing those things, or you have to get childcare. It just didn't really cross my mind. I mean, I couldn't leave him. He had separation anxiety. I was breastfeeding. He came everywhere with me.
Welcome back to Dear Mum. Today on the podcast, we have the wonderful Olivia Hammond, mum of 2 and a content creator you might know from the time she took her little boy to Glastonbury. She shares her motherhood journey online and the fact that becoming a mum was quite the surprise to her. She was the first of her friends, and she shares how she navigates that, the highs, the lows, the fun bits, the chaos bits, and it is such a joy to watch along. So I'm really excited to be able to delve into everything with her, and I really hope that you enjoy it too. You might want to grab your notebook because she gives some fantastic tips for travelling with kids. Don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Now let's dive right in. Olivia, so nice to have you on. I feel like we always chat when we're like with loads of different people and we have like half conversations, kids around and things. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This is amazing.
I'm very excited. So we are going to start like always with your mum stats. So can you tell me how many kids you've got, how old they are, and then what would you describe them as?
Okay, so I've got 2 kids. They are, someone asked me this in the shop yesterday. They were like, how old is she? And I was like, one of them has just turned 1, that's Lila, and Beau has just turned 3. I would describe Beau as a hurricane, always has been, and I think always will be. Seems to be getting worse. And Lila as the opposite. They're like yin and yang. She's like the calm, dream second baby. That, thank God I had second, because if I'd have had him like second.
I always think that because I think Beau and Alfie are very similar. Yeah. Like high energy in a great way, but also a hard way. Yeah. Everything's a lot. Yeah. And then if you'd had that second, you would have been lulled into such a false sense of security. Exactly. And like, oh my goodness. So I think it's nice to have
it teaches me that like you can never compare your motherhood journey to someone else's, because if someone had just had Lila first, they would have had such an easy time. If I just had her, my life would be easy. It'd be so calm. I'm really glad I was challenged. It's made me grow as a person.
Exactly that. And you can really appreciate like you've got a good sleeper and all these kind of things. It's like, thank God they do exist. And it also just shows that it's nothing to do with your parenting. Yeah. It's the child that you're given.
100%. Although I do wonder whether because your second does get less of you because you're split, they then need less.
I mean, poor Darcy gets none of me ever. I mean, no, she does, of course, but she
looks like she is just. I loved that video you put on that was like, how's having a girl different? And she's just there playing with the
trying
boys'
to colour, and the boys are just like play fighting all around her, and she's almost just like, she's started saying boys. She's like, boys.
Oh my
like,
God,
get out my way.
So cute.
She but she's sassy.
Really?
I think she has to be.
She will be. She's going to be a cool girl. Imagine having 2 older brothers.
2 older brothers.
She's going to be like,
Exactly, and she just needs to let them know what to do. The other day, one of them spilt something at the table. She got off the chair, went and got a tea towel, came and wiped it.
Oh,
I think she's just like, guys, you need to sort yourself out. I'm going to do it for you. So yeah, I feel like every child has their own personality, but it also depends where they come in the ranking order.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So you had Beau as a surprise, right?
Yes.
So can you let me know before that surprise happened, like what was Olivia like? What was your life like just before that big life-changing surprise came?
We'll give it a PG version.
No, it doesn't have to be PG. It doesn't have to be.
I was living my life.
How old were you?
I was 25 when I found out I was pregnant with him.
Okay.
I'd met Martin I'd met my fiance just over a year before that.
Right.
I think, we hadn't been together that long, and we were very much, I think we bonded over the fact we would go out loads. Like social life was social life was a big part of our life. Yeah, partying, like, every week, honestly, every weekend.
But that's what 25-year-olds
we would come
to do.
home when the sun was coming up every single weekend. And actually, both of my surprise pregnancies, a couple days before, I had a night out it was a big shock to the system. And we also had a lot of plans. So we booked flights to go on a year-long travel trip. We were going to put our flat on the we were going to put our flat up to rent. And so finding out was just...
And so when you found out, were you just like late for your period, or did you just have that feeling, or like what made you take the test?
I had a really strong craving for salmon and pasta.
How
and
funny.
I don't think I'd felt a craving that strong for a food.
Pregnancy cravings are a real thing, aren't they?
And
so you're like, I really want salmon. I'm going to do a pregnancy test.
Yeah. And I think what had happened was I'd gone off my contraception because I was like, right, I'm going to just get in control of my hormones. I'm quite into that. Like, I've got PCOS. I know all the right things to do. So I was going to start doing them, taking all the right supplements, eating in the right way, like, you know, eating within half an hour of being up and doing all of that. And it had only been 2 months. And I just hadn't got a hold of it. And so my periods are so irregular.
So you didn't
and
know
I
you were
thought I
late.
knew the fertile window, and I obviously didn't.
Yeah, you didn't.
I thought I knew better.
Oh my God. And so did you and Martin do the test together, or did you?
Absolutely not.
surprise him
I
with
think
it?
if you're planning to have a baby, doing the test together
I've never done the
is
test
fine.
with George. I feel
Really?
like I want to do it by myself. I want to just like figure out how I feel and then tell him when I think like he's ready to hear it.
I think you have to deliver it in a certain way. I would love to have that experience one day of planning for a baby and then being able to go to them and surprise them and then be happy, like all the videos you see. But I don't know if that will ever be our experience. I took it on my own. When I told him, the first thing he said was, I told you natural contraception doesn't work.
So it's not the like magical Hollywood taking a pregnancy test that you see on the films.
No.
But I think that's so common. Like with Darcy, she was surprised as well.
Was she?
Yeah, we wanted her.
Yeah.
But like a year later.
Oh, wow.
And
But that is a big difference. So we had that
Yeah.
with my second with Lila. I knew I wanted we'd both agreed we wanted a second at some point, but maybe 6 months later. And even so, the fact that it was earlier, you're not prepared.
No.
Yeah.
And I was feeling really good. And we had just sort of like, we'll go into this later, but like really rekindled our relationship after having 2. And it really takes a toll on it. And I feel like we just got back. And I think that's probably why it happened, because we were like really like fancying each other again. We're going on dates again and that kind of thing.
So how
I
did
was
the
really
delivery of telling him go?
So I did the test and as I turned it over,
And how did you know?
Did
you know?
I knew because we were on holiday in France with my dad, and he kept giving me rosé everywhere I looked. There was another glass put next to me, and I was like, God, I can't handle wine anymore. I'm feeling so sick all the time. And then something just clicked to me, and I was like, oh no.
Were you late?
No.
Okay.
I was
so you
due the day after we got back, but I was already feeling sick, and so then part of me was like, is it twins? I was like, oh God. And so we got back, I did the test, and then I took it downstairs to show George, and he was eating a piece of toast, and he just dropped the toast on the floor. And both the other kids were there, and they sort of were like, what's happened? And we just started laughing, like really nervous laughing. And we then went to the park straight after, and George came up to me, and he was like, there are no other families here with 3 kids. There's no one here with 3 kids. Like, nobody does this. This is so stupid.
But yeah, because that would be like me having another one around now.
Yeah.
And it's intense.
Because
2
we have a
kids is
2-year age
intense.
gap with 2 and 3.
Yeah, so how? Like, even now, I have to carry them both around, like one on each hip. And it's so hard. And I can't look away. Even this morning, trying to get ready for this, I just am so anxious. I can't turn my back. As soon as I start doing my hair or doing my makeup, I think one of them's going to have a choke on something.
They love to test you. They're like that. One of them's
I don't know
always
how you do
something.
3, like
well,
3
I think
different things to
the
keep.
jump from 1 to 2 was way harder for me than 2 to 3.
Interesting.
Because I think when you're jumping from 1 to 2, you're having to learn to juggle.
Yes.
And then
I can't multitask. So
well, but you do multitask all
Yeah.
the time. And then when you go from 2 to 3, you're already doing it. So adding one more in. I mean, it is hard, but it doesn't feel like as hard as 1 to 2.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, it took me and George about 6 weeks to accept it, that it was happening.
And had you told people, or did you have to take that time to process it?
Yeah, because everyone who we told were like, what? You're crazy. Like, I was like, this is not helping
Yeah,
me.
I don't think it's the same reaction. See, with your first or second, everyone's like, oh, congratulations. Third time, it's like, wow.
I know. I actually told my
You
friend
okay?
who has 3 already, because I knew that she'd be like, it's great. No one who has 3 ever says, don't do it. Oh my God, it's awful. Everyone loves it. So I was like,
Really?
I need to tell her. And she's like, you're going to be fine. So yeah, I really know that feeling of like, I wasn't ready for my life to change.
Mm-hmm.
And also for me with work, I knew that it would make me really busy because I
Yeah.
like had to film all the pregnancy classes and things. I was
Right,
like,
yeah,
oh, I'm not
yeah.
ready.
Well, with me, to be fair, when I found out about Bo, it had only been a few weeks before we had a massive New Year's Eve, and I was like, right, I'm going to turn over a new leaf. I just don't want to be going out that much anymore. And I was like,
The universe
new
listened.
leaf. I remember literally, I think I wrote it in a journal, and I was like, this is a new start. I'm going to, be a bit
And then someone up there was like, she needs a baby.
oh, it
Bang.
really is a new leaf.
Wow.
Careful
So
what you
were
wish
you
for.
the first out of your friends to have a baby then?
Yes, I didn't even know anyone other than my sister-in-law who had been, well, obviously my own parents, who
Your
had been
own
pregnant.
parents?
Not a single person.
Wow.
I had one very, very mutual friend on Instagram who had a baby, but I didn't know anyone. So,
And was that terrifying, or was it like blissfully unaware?
I think a
What was
bit of
coming?
both, but I'm such a researcher. I just trawl mums now. I love it. Like, I'm there
You can lose
Googling.
hours and hours, can't you?
Week 6, day 2 symptoms. I just sit there. I was in my working hours, just like scrolling what everyone's feeling. So I kind of educated myself about it all. But the hard thing was just that, obviously, I stopped going to such like social events as much,
Yeah.
and then people just stop asking you, and because they don't know anyone else that's been pregnant either, they don't really know how to show up. And I found it
You do
so
sort of
lonely.
lose people because they
Yeah.
are like, well, she's not coming out clubbing with us. So like,
Yeah, and actually, well, that's what I was thinking, but they were actually like, oh, she's doing her own thing, and my friendships with those people have come back even better now. But I think they were just giving me space, and they were like, silly, we're still best friends, we're still here, we're just because we're not
I
seeing
know,
you
but
every
it does
day.
feel lonely because you're dealing with so much
Yeah.
internally.
And also people who aren't in that world at all, aren't thinking about kids, don't, are living their life in their 20s as well, don't really care about the ins and outs.
It's
Like,
actually
how we
only
could
when you
sit here for
have
about
them.
an hour and talk about this type of cramp, or oh my goodness, our bras, anything. It's just not
I
their
know,
world.
and it's just
so.
not interesting to them. But a lot of my friends who've had kids after me, they've come back and almost apologised.
Oh, really?
I just didn't realise how much you needed support. I just am so
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't realise how hard it was or whatever. So I think, because I was the first, but only just. A lot of my friends had babies who were in the same school year maybe
nice.
now, but they
well,
were
I
like,
had that in the end. So like 9 months later, a few of my friends got pregnant.
okay.
A few of my partner's friends, because they're slightly older.
Okay, so then you create that mum group, which is why really I wanted to create this podcast, because I feel like there are a lot of mums who don't have the network that I think all mums need.
Yeah.
And some of the things that you lie awake thinking at 3 o'clock in the morning, oh my God, is this normal or whatever? Like going onto Mumsnet, you can find some horrendously scary things on there, and you just don't know what's right and what's wrong.
ChatGPT is great because it actually gives you a very balanced view of those things. When you're like,
that's so true. But you don't want to be texting ChatGPT if you've got that WhatsApp group of mums that are like. Also, sometimes I go into these groups and I'm like, oh, I've had the worst day, and there's always someone to be like, I'm with you, I feel you, like I've had a day like that too, rather than, oh, really? Like, haven't you got it all together? Like, you feel when you're scrolling social media that you're like, oh, everyone's got it sorted. So I really feel like not everybody has that friendship group.
Yeah, so
or
true.
that village, but you've got to make it.
Yeah.
You've got to find
Although it's hard
it.
now, I now find myself like, I know what my friends need now in pregnancy. And a few of my friends are now pregnant. And now that I've got 2 kids and I am trying to work at the same time and just survive, I now know what they need, but I can't show up in the way that I wish I could.
I know, it's so
because
true.
I'm now so busy. But
Because
if
you
you're
wish
a
you could just
childless
drop
friend,
everything.
then educate yourself what your child, because you can be the person that's
So
there for them.
true. This podcast needs to go out to friends who have no kids, but their friends have lots of kids. This is a good point. Yeah, very good point. And now you've got lots of friends who have babies.
Yes.
And you feel like you've got like a new friendship group. Are you
Yeah.
still friends with those who don't have kids?
Yes, I am, and it's so nice. Like I'll go to their birthday. I don't go to everything, but I go to their birthday parties, and it's really nice to have them as well as my friends I met through my antenatal group. And then I've met a lot of friends through social media, like mum
Like me?
bloggers. Like
yeah,
us,
exactly.
yeah.
It's so nice. And because you then like, we're really in it together because we're doing the
Yeah.
same job as well. And it's a funny old industry that a lot of people are like, what? So this is work? And it's becoming a lot more of like the norm, and people understand it.
Yeah.
But it is hard to juggle.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
I know you can't complain because it's the most amazing job in the world to be able to work it around your kids and be home a lot. But it is hard to juggle it all. Like people say to me, oh, but you're a stay-at-home mum. Yeah, you know, but actually it's so time consuming.
Well, stay-at-home mum's one full-time job.
Yeah.
And then
Oh my God. Yes.
content creation is another full-time job. And
Yeah.
there's loads of different hats you have to wear. So it's funny because to do the job we do, you have to be around your kids.
Yeah.
But to actually do it, you need time away from your kids as
Yeah.
well. It's like really hard to find the balance. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's been nice to meet lots of you through it. So the other thing I wanted to touch on is, how did yours and Martin's relationship change? Like, obviously you didn't go out clubbing loads when you were pregnant, or maybe you did, I don't know.
Well, we did go to Ibiza for Martin's 30th, and I did make it to the clubs.
I love
left
that.
early.
I love to see a bump on the dance floor. I feel like with your first one, you can do that because you've still got a bit of the energy, haven't you?
It was great. I was like, these are going to be the great stories to tell him. He was there at Glitterbox.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's why he's the hurricane you said he was.
Well, maybe.
Maybe that's why he's a party animal.
Potentially.
Did you feel like before you even had him that your relationship kind of changed? Like, was he more protective over you, or like did that all happen after?
I think, I can't speak for everyone, but I think for dads, they become a father and go through the shock and the adjustment, and he definitely went through a lot after we had Bo.
I just think they don't realise what's coming.
No, and I felt like a mother from the moment I found out I was pregnant, and I gave him a lot of, I was in a very genuine way, like very understanding that he wasn't quite ready for that yet. So I gave him a lot of freedom, I guess, when I was pregnant. I was like, look, I'll go home from things early. You stay out, go to that party, whatever. But just so you know, this is coming to an end.
This is going to end soon, my friend, when the baby's here.
And yeah, it definitely changed just because it stops being just about two people and the only worry in their world is keeping each other happy. You then need things from them, and it becomes, I guess it's not a very sexy thing to be like, I need this from you, you have to do this.
But this is what I was going to say, because I was with George for 11 years before we had a baby, and I kind of was like, thank God, because I'm not trying to impress you right now. But you had the opposite. So did you feel like you were still trying to like, I'm still like trying to impress him, or did that just go out the window?
It went absolutely out the window. But
because you're like, I do think adult nappy
we've suffered from not having that foundation to go back
Right.
on, or we felt like our kind of years were a bit cut short, which actually, he kind of always said, and I've realised now, actually, I don't know, I think it's
you
hard.
didn't get as much dating time.
And
we
have struggled a little bit with just having such different experience of being thrown into it. And if he has ever voiced how he wasn't ready for it and everything, and how much our life has changed and how different it was before, I get a bit defensive and I'm like, but
we love it.
How could you compare it to before? Because this is amazing. And I had that natural feeling where all I've ever wanted to be is a mum.
Right.
And I think it almost, he said that it almost alienated him a little bit, because I was just like, oh, this is amazing. This is the most amazing thing in the world.
And he wasn't quite there.
I love it. I made my whole career about just sharing motherhood online. And I think it almost alienated him a little bit, because he was like,
I'm struggling.
He was fully in, but
not yet.
Yeah. And
had you even spoken about?
And he didn't have any other dads
kids
to speak to. He didn't realise that it's normal to have those feelings. I think a lot of men do go through their own type of postpartum depression. I think a lot of my friends' husbands have done. And I think
there's not so much support, and they don't talk about it like we talk about it.
Well, exactly. And none of his friends, they just couldn't speak the same language about that. So
no,
I think if there was more support for dads, as much as there is for mums, I would meet my friends multiple times a week, and we would talk about everything and how hard it is, and it just it's healing.
I'll say, oh, I met this mum at playgroup, and she had stitches too, and he's like, how on earth have you got onto that topic?
Straight
I'm
into
like,
it.
And he's like, what's her name? I'm like, I don't know, but she had 20 stitches and But he goes for a drink with his best friends, and I'm like, how is he? He's like, oh, I don't really know. We just talked about football, or I'm like, oh, okay. So I think it's hard for them to open up about things. But I think it's getting better. But I think it's a very different experience. And now that the kids are sort of getting older, do you find that you have to put things in place to like keep the spark or bring back the spark, or like do you do date nights, or do you do anything like that?
We had a great idea to do one date night every other week, put it in the diary,
right?
Keep doing it. We did one.
It's so
and then
hard.
By the time that day comes, you're so tired. I just want to get in my pajamas.
It's
as soon as the kids
dates.
go to bed, I have a shower, I take off all my makeup, I get into my pajamas, and I just want to be comfy.
I know.
So
and it's like, get away from me.
Yeah, that didn't quite work. We're going to maybe try once a month.
But we started doing, like you, we started doing, we've done like 2 day dates.
See, that's so nice. But what do you do with the children?
So we did it when they were in school and nursery.
Oh, clever.
And then we would like just go for lunch, and he would like take 2 hours off work, and then we'd catch up in the evening. But then we still get a normal bedtime.
Yeah.
We're
That's
not
really nice. So you just
shattered.
go and meet him for lunch.
Exactly.
Would you go in the city, or is that his work from home?
He was working from home. So
Okay.
we the first time we did it was his birthday. So I had like booked somewhere,
nice.
and I was like, you're taking today off. And then we realised just how nice it was. And
That's so
the kids
nice.
weren't being put to bed by someone else. It was just, and by the evening,
That's the
I
thing,
was
because then you have to
shattered.
pay for a babysitter.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, you just feel bad for the kids. I
know. So if you ever
That's
know
a
that
good
like
idea,
Martin's got like
though.
a freer day or something,
Yeah.
just even go for an hour.
Yeah, the problem with me is I don't have. Yeah, I refuse to put the kids into more childcare because I want to be a mum so much, but
I know, but I also, it's very important to keep the relationship
yeah.
ticking over and strong.
Well, for the kids as well, I want them
for
to
them.
see. Yeah, I don't want them to be in any kind of conflict.
I know,
or-
but like maybe when they're at the childminders, and
Yeah.
it's just I found day dates better because
Well, you're less
I'm just too
tired as
tired.
well, yeah.
I'm so tired
Okay,
all
I'm
the time.
going to try this.
I find
Taken on
I
board.
find it helpful, but I also think I've got friends who are sort of in the next stage where all of their kids are in school now, and they're like, by the way, you get your life back, like you get sleep
Right.
again, you get guaranteed sleep, which is the issue I have, because some nights are great,
Yeah.
some nights, like last night, holy moly, I got less than 3 hours sleep.
I can't
But
believe
you don't know.
You seem so fine.
Makeup, guys, makeup. It's just basically I drank a green tea in the afternoon yesterday, which I never do, and I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I did it. Crazy, I know. Look at me go.
Green
And
tea.
the caffeine in that kept me awake till 2 o'clock in the
That is
morning.
wild. But do you think it's because you're health conscious? You're then there's caffeine in it, and you're worrying about the caffeine.
I don't know. Well, no, because for a while I was like, why am I
and then
not
you just
asleep? I
realised.
didn't realise. But I just don't like coffee, and it's not a health thing. I just don't like it. So I think my tolerance to caffeine is very
Yeah.
low. So it stayed in me for so long. And so I fell asleep at 2. Darcy woke up at
That
3:30.
is honestly horrendous, you poor thing. Well, do you sit
3:30.
awake on your phone, or do you just
I did
lie
for a
there?
bit, and then I was like, this is silly. But I felt like I was forcing my eyes closed, you know? I was
Yeah.
like, God, this is so stupid. She woke up at 3:30, got her back to sleep, and then Alfie, my early riser, came in at 5:30 for the day. And almost I'd had so little sleep that I was like, well, there's literally no 1 more hour is not going to
Yeah.
help. So
Oh my
I just
God.
got up.
See, I need sleep. I think women need more sleep than men as well. So
Not in my relationship.
really.
Oh no, George, which is why I got up, because
Yeah.
he needs more sleep than me. Otherwise, it's like I'm looking after 4 children.
God.
So I actually sacrifice my sleep for our relationship, because
Yeah.
I've realised over the years that I can handle less sleep than he can.
Really, you're a better woman than me.
That's one of my superpowers I
That's
got
what I
as a
think you
mum.
need. That's why you
I'm
can
not
survive
good.
being a mum of 3.
Yes, I feel like you need that. I'm not good at a lot of things in motherhood, but I
Yeah.
am good at just powering through a day when I've had no sleep.
See, we
Whereas
do. Martin,
everyone's
he's
different.
better than me. I think he struggles, but he's just much more headstrong than me. And he gets up, and like this morning, he knew I had to be here, and I had to drop both kids off. So he like got up and like did the kids' lunchboxes and made their pancakes, and then came and kissed us goodbye at 7 and got out the door, and we were in bed.
That is my love language. Since I've become a mum,
Oh, really?
like stuff like that, thinking ahead of time of how to make my life easier
Yeah,
is my love language.
yeah. I do think your love language can change.
Oh, 100%.
I think motherhood definitely changes it because those are the things you appreciate more now.
Yeah,
don't you?
like
It's
I
just-
said to him, my love language has always been like quality time. But now I said to him, my actual love language is you creating the quality time.
right.
So
yeah.
like, I'm happy to book somewhere, but if you book somewhere and you've thought ahead about like, I know, let's get our parents to come and look after the kids or something, and let's go for lunch. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
that to
nice.
me is amazing. And like a few weeks ago, and I still remember it because it's such a, like, it made me feel so happy that he, at bedtime, he was like, why don't I put the kids to bed? You didn't get a shower this morning. I know you wanted one. Why don't you go and have a shower now? And I was like,
that is so
it's like
thoughtful.
foreplay. The fact you let me have a shower is like hilarious. But
What's
that's
happening now?
that's just the kind of thing that
And then
as
I'm like, wait. No, I've had my shower. I'm getting comfy now. Don't you dare.
well,
Let me
yeah,
take
that's
this off.
true. That's true. I know, but it's just thinking about the
Yeah.
other person, because so often you get lost in like the kids that you don't think about each other. And that's the problem, really.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. They kind of fall to the bottom of your to-do list.
I know, but yeah, my friends who are ahead of me are like, you get regular sleep. You know you're getting sleep. You know what the kids
See,
need.
this
They're
is
more
the thing
independent.
that makes me think with you how you've had 3 closer together, then you're going to get
just-
to that chapter of your life sooner.
That's what I told myself.
Rather than
when I had
elongating
third.
it, keeping going, going on back. Obviously,
Yeah.
you cannot control these things. I know people try
No,
really hard to
no,
have
you
babies,
don't.
but if you can see the positives and benefits of each one.
And I kind of feel like we've been in the trenches for a really long time, but then once we're out, we're going to be out.
Yeah, so how long ago?
So Alfie is 5.5 now.
So you really have been, you were pregnant 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And Darcy's only really she's still very much a small
She's
toddler.
20 months.
Yeah.
And actually, I can count on one hand how many full night's sleep I've had in 6 years, which when you think about it, is actually mental.
Yeah.
So
That's why we've aged.
I
see
mean,
my friends
oh
who
my
haven't
God.
had kids, and I look so much older than them.
and just like
I'm like, is
tired.
it just the lack of sleep or the stress, or I don't know? And
I just look at old pictures and I think I look so fresh,
Yeah.
fresh, and these bags just don't go anywhere. But I honestly, it's a form of torture, sleep deprivation, and to have that many years. Like I'll now say, oh, I had a really good night last night. And they're like, oh, did you sleep through? Like, oh no. They only got up at 11 and 4, and they're like, what? That's a good night. I'm like, oh yeah, the
No,
bar's
it
quite
is.
low
Yeah.
these days.
I had it recently. Bo just kept waking up and I couldn't get back to sleep, and then he comes into our bed and I was wearing an Oura ring, so I looked back and it had been 5 wake ups in a really short amount of time, and on the last one I just completely snapped. I was like, just go to sleep,
Oh my God,
lie
I've done that
down.
before.
And he goes to me, Mummy, be kind.
Oh gosh.
I felt horrible, but then
That's
I looked back
heartbreaking.
at the sleep, whatever, I looked back and seen that I'd waken up so many times, and I was like, no wonder I snapped.
No,
That is
I've done that
torture. I was
before.
just trying to go back to sleep.
I
and-
felt awful because I said, I basically told my daughter, I told Darcy to fuck off basically once, because I was like, I don't know what you want. I've changed your nappy, I've fed you, I don't know.
God.
And then what she does, it's the same thing. She just leant out to kiss me. And I was like,
stop.
then I just burst into tears. I was like, I'm so sorry. But
It's
you know,
so
you
hard.
get pushed
I do
to
find
breaking
myself
point.
saying, I go, sometimes I'm just like, what do you want?
I know. I don't know what you want. And in a way, you're just like, I wish you could talk to me and
Yeah.
let me know.
Lila does this. She just goes like, not. She does a sign, and then she points. Not.
Oh, bless her.
She's figured it out. She can use the sign for all sorts of things, more than food. She'll like if she wants something.
Or anything. Well, that's the thing. Like we get pushed to breaking point, and then you feel so awful. And that's the time when I use my mum friends, because I'm like, please tell me I'm not the only one who's done this. And
Yeah.
never are we the only one who's done this. Never.
Yeah.
But I just, you just feel like a terrible mum. It's
Yeah.
awful. So you basically shot to fame from taking Bo to Glastonbury. Is this correct? I think this is when I learned about you.
I took him to a festival when he was 10 months old. And the videos from that were so popular. And then the next year I took him to Glastonbury, and kind of
Okay.
became known as like Festival Baby.
I know. I
People
think
loved
it was like on another channel that I saw it. And was that always your plan? Like, when I have babies, I'm just going to take them to festivals? Or had you like booked the tickets and thought, well, I've got a baby now?
We just, I always wanted to take him along with me. And I do think, looking back, it's a first child thing. Yes, you can take them along with you, especially when they're that small. But
Yeah.
I think people loved it because they were like, oh, my life doesn't have to change that much. And
Well, that's what
you
I
can
mean.
do it. And a lot of people would be too scared. I don't know. I think people see it as you have a child and then you have to stop doing those things, or you have to get childcare. And it just didn't really cross my mind. I mean, I couldn't leave him. He had separation anxiety. I was
Oh, yeah.
breastfeeding. It was not an option.
It's either you take
he
him or you don't go.
Yeah, he came everywhere with me. And I do think he is now the most confident. Obviously, you never know what caused that, but he's very sociable. Like, he's, not scared of any grown-ups or anything. I
Yeah.
think because he's always just been, he just came along to everything.
But I like that because, yeah, you're right. People say to you like, oh, you better enjoy your freedom now because you're not going to get
Yeah.
any. And they're right to some extent.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that everything has to change if you don't want it to.
Well, it did feel like quite empowering at the time. I was like, see, not everything has to change. And now, like, it has changed now that I've got 2.
Yeah.
It's different.
And also
but
when
it's
they get
just nice. I
older-
think it's a very gradual progression into motherhood. Like, in the beginning, you can take them everywhere with you, and it's very gradual. That actually, by the time you're a few years in, maybe you actually want to leave them, and they might be happier at home, and you can go.
Yeah, it comes full circle
Yeah.
again. But also at the very beginning, they sleep anywhere you want them to. And I mean, even later, if you don't want them to have a routine, it just doesn't matter where they sleep.
Yeah.
Especially third baby. Darcy has had so little naps in her cot in her life.
Oh,
She's just
bless
like
her.
buggy, car, carrier.
Yeah.
Like,
Lila used to just fall asleep on the playmat.
Yeah, I know.
Happy as Larry. She went to the childminder last week for the first time, and the childminder sent me a photo of her asleep on the playmat.
Because they just are like, well, no one's coming to put me in my cot, so I'm just going to go to sleep. And I feel like that's quite nice for other mums to see, that it's like, oh, because I've been showing recently how we've been like trying the boys eating out in different places because they're quite fussy.
Yeah.
And then I have lots of messages like, how do you take Darcy out for lunch though? And I'm like, oh, she just sleeps in the buggy. I'm not going to ruin the boys' day for her nap. And that's sad for her. But equally, she's got really good at just slotting in.
I think they do just get good at whatever you do.
I know.
And like even with restaurants, like the more you take them to restaurants, they get restaurant trained. Or flights,
So
like Beau is flight trained.
That's what I was going to talk to you about.
On a plane, he looks to us, he lays on our lap, he knows exactly, and he falls asleep before the plane's taken off because he knows that's what he does on planes now. Because he's gone on, well, my parents live in Portugal.
I love
Obviously
that.
very lucky to be able to go back and forth quite a bit. So he's just gotten really used to it.
I love that. And I think the thing that worries people about planes, which used to worry me, is like what everyone else will think.
Yeah.
Because you walk down the aisle and you're looking for your seat and you just see everyone going, oh no, don't sit with me.
Maybe this is selfish of me. I have never been concerned with what other people think about that kind of
Which
thing.
you
Because I'm like,
great.
they are a person. They're just as entitled to be here as you are. And you were a baby once too. I'm giving, like, this is learning for everyone.
Yeah.
They deserve, if they're crying, they're sad. Like, if you're going to be upset about it, then, whereas Martin will be a bit more like, tell them to be quiet, a bit more conscious. I'm like, they're a child.
But also when my babies cry on planes, I always think, I don't want them to be sad. It's not like I'm going there, you be noisy for everyone.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to solve the situation. And I've never, ever had a bad word said to me on a plane or a train or anything if the kids are noisy.
Like, I think planes, they don't even often, some children do cry on planes. It's quite stereotypical, but it's never been that, but like the white noise they love.
Yeah, it's usually like if their ear's a bit funny or whatever. But I think it's exposure therapy. The more you do these things, the more that you become less stressed about it. The first flight I did, I was writing lists of what I had to pack for weeks before, and I was so nervous. And now, much less nervous. I'm like, it's a real full-on few hours, and then we get there and we're all happy.
There's certain flight times that I would and wouldn't do. We took a flight to the Canary Islands, and it was the middle of the day, and it was 4.5, 5 hours.
It's quite long, that journey, isn't it?
That is never, ever again. Like a daytime flight for that long. Portugal's 2.5, that's good. We went to Madeira, which was 3.5, too long. It's just...
Well, I tell you why it's too long, because it's too long on a short haul plane.
Yes.
So we've done Dubai, and that's actually way better because you get bigger seats, they've got the TVs.
Or overnight flights with kids is amazing because they sleep. And even if you don't sleep, at least they have slept.
Yeah, and it's calm. But you're right, because we're going to Greece this year. We did it last year or the year before. And that's 4 hours.
Yes,
and it's
we're
on
doing
like
that this summer as
a
well.
short haul plane. So it's just...
And it means that even if they have an hour and a half nap, you've still got so much
still got
time.
ages. I know, you've still got ages.
Although when they get older, like Beau now will sit and watch TV, which is amazing.
Darcy will have her own seat this time because she turns 2 whilst we're there. But to be honest, I would probably want her to have her own seat anyway because we just need the space.
Yeah, but no, I'm too stubborn. I have got so many trips. Well, we've got a couple of weddings this summer. Before she turns 2, and then once Lila is 2, 4 airfares. You can't go anywhere for less than £1,000.
We're using air miles
crazy.
For sure because it's so expensive.
Yeah, I want to buy a camper van and just
live in it.
Go camping.
I know. Well, then you start doing the short haul flights are a bit cheaper. But also, you're not there yet, but school term time.
Yeah, well, we kind of, because the kids are in term time only childcare. I'm like, well, otherwise we'd have to, we're missing out on childcare and whatever.
Well,
so we kind
a good thing to, because when's Beau's birthday?
November.
Okay, so
he doesn't
Alfie's
start till next
summer
September.
baby. So for the whole first year, he's not legally had to be in school.
Oh, interesting.
So we didn't get fined. We could take him out anyway. So we did it a few times. Whereas this year when we're going to go in term time.
You will
because
you
there's only one
fine?
Yeah, but there's only one child. So I feel like the fine is so much cheaper than the flight would be.
Well, also a lot of teachers are in support of it because what they learn from that, and obviously if you keep up the learning,
is quite strict about it.
Really,
just the like.
Is it a private school?
No.
Oh, right.
Just the head teacher team. They're quite strict. I think our teachers have a lovely time, but I think they are. We've already got an email this year about the fines and the situation. So, but you know what? All of the parents seem to be doing it, and
that's the thing. Probably they don't want to encourage it because it sets a precedent. And
I know.
And then some people probably would just take their kids and take the piss. But you would be the
Once a
type of
year,
mum to
I
keep up
just-
their learning and make sure that they are learning.
Exactly. And also, I can't make him lie about it.
Yeah.
I can't. So, and which I'd never do. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to get in trouble and it's fine.
Yeah.
In terms of flying, to round that bit up, any top tips you've got? So flight time, you'd say morning?
I would say so first thing in the morning is my secret. I don't know why it works
So
so
get
well
up
for
really
us.
early at
So
home.
we're lucky we're only about half an hour, 45 minutes from the airport. So we get up, wake the kids up, get them in from their pajamas just into the car at like 4 a.m, book a 7 a.m. flight, and then we drive to the airport, use the long stay car park, and by the time the flight comes around, they're so tired that they nap. And then you arrive there with a whole day. It's actually so nice. And you can have a little nap because they're napping.
I actually also like the early morning flights because otherwise, if you're doing a midday flight, you're still just fretting about it all morning.
Yeah,
You might as well
exactly.
just get up and go.
Yeah.
I like that. And the overnight flights
And
for
overnight for
long
long
haul
haul,
we've done, which
I would
are
do
actually
that.
great.
Yeah. And then also I've discovered those new, the flyaway beds, the blow
Yes,
up
I've
ones.
never used them.
Amazing.
Really?
Because a lot of airlines are approve them now.
Oh, good.
And it's so good. It gives them a whole little area. Bo can sit on it and have his stuff and lie down and sleep. Even on short haul,
I'm
going to
get one
It's
for our
really,
Greece
really, really
flight.
worth
Yeah,
it.
that's so
Honestly,
good.
amazing. We've got 2, so when Lila's older, she can have hers. Really, really good.
Okay, so I was going to say products. Is that
Yes.
the thing you would definitely take?
Yeah, and a baby carrier.
I was going to say baby carrier for the airport and for the plane
Yeah.
if they need bobbing around.
Yeah.
But now that Das is too big for bobbing around.
Yeah. Oh, and just forget about hand luggage. Don't take a wheelie hand luggage bag. I feel like you just need all your hands. So we check
true.
in a big bag now.
Everything.
Whereas before kids, I would try and not pay for a check-in bag. And
Oh, yeah, no,
check
no.
it in and then just have your hands free.
No, we just
chase
have
them.
both the boys have a little backpack in it. They're just
Oh,
full of
sweet.
all stuff for them to do,
Yeah.
snacks, everything, and then
Snacks.
what
Snacks.
snacks like more snacks than you ever think would
Yeah.
be possible to eat, and then a few more.
Yeah.
Because what am I bringing in my hand luggage? A book? No, not going to be the book.
I have brought a book on every trip, every
No,
weekend
I
away I've
don't.
gone on lately. I'm so determined. I've read like 5 pages of Housemaid that I bought like 4 years ago, and I haven't finished a book since having kids, and it's so sad.
No,
and
I
know
don't bring
how
them
A
anymore.
lot of mums do manage to get it into their routine, but when I then have a moment completely to myself, I kind of just want to sit and scroll on my phone.
Yeah, or just lie with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Because on holidays, often we go to sleep when the kids go to sleep.
Oh, do you?
Like we've done it where we've all
What
shared
do you
a room
mean? But then do you
before.
not have your evening time to yourself?
So when we went to Greece, it was quite good because we kept the kids on English time,
Mm-hmm.
which meant that they could eat dinner in their eyes at their normal time. But
Yeah.
for us, it was like 7, and we were all in the same sort of living room
Yeah.
situation. So then they'd go to bed, and we'd lie in our bed and we'd like either watch something with our earphones in or like scroll a bit and then
Yeah.
just go to sleep and then get really good night's sleeps.
And then what do you do? Would you then give them a nap in the day to make them stay up later, so you have your time to yourself in the day?
Yeah.
So that's that's one way of doing it. You either nap them and they stay up late. We went to a TUI hotel and it was a really family friendly hotel, so there were so many kids, and most people seem to do that. But we went for the route of let's keep their routine and get them because they're good pram sleepers. We walked them around the hotel, like,
Yeah.
forcing them to sleep, and then we would go for dinner with them in their buggies.
Oh, I see, for the evening.
Yeah, but
Okay.
they were. Well, Bo was 2 then, so it was kind of still possible. Now I think we just keep him up.
Right.
And also he's better company now.
I know,
They
they're
can
actually
sit
quite
and
fun.
chat.
Yeah.
When they're younger, like sometimes it's just so hard and you
Also,
can't have a
you
meal.
can take the iPad
Yeah.
if you need to. The thing is, my boys will both still nap on holidays, 5 and 3, because they just swim all the day. Like they're so tired.
in other
Whereas
countries,
Darcy-
so in Portugal, where my parents live, all children nap until about 5 or 6. Like there was a study and it said how many children at preschool nap. They all nap. It's an English thing
'Cause
to
do
cut
they
the
go to
nap
bed
at 2.
later?
Yeah, they go to bed a bit later, but they all nap in the afternoon, and it's a very English thing that we're like cut the nap at 2, 6 p.m, 7 p.m. bedtime. That is not like commonplace in other countries. It's really
Because
interesting.
they eat later and everything's later.
Yes, they just eat
Well,
later.
what's
They
so
nap and they wake
interesting-
up at the same time. They still wake up early, but they just nap in the day.
So they get the same number of hours. Sleep.
Yeah.
Because Darcy is a very low sleep needs child.
Oh, interesting.
So she sleeps through the night most of the
Mm.
time now, but she needs like 20 minutes nap in the day now.
What do you mean? She's not even 2.
I know,
Thank God she's
I
your
know.
last, because
So-
otherwise, what would you? How would you do
I know,
that?
because I'm actually quite happy for the nap to go now, because actually it's more of a hindrance,
Yeah.
because I'm not exactly resting when she's napping.
Yeah,
But
really.
with the
So I
first,
do.
was
So
like,
now
oh.
I'm like, if Lila's napping, I will put an activity out for Bo or
And then
put
just
him in front of the TV, and that is still my time that
Yeah.
I protect.
So she would nap. She loves to have
Mm-hmm.
a nap in the day. But if she naps for an hour, she will not go to bed until like 9 p.m.
Really?
And honestly, New
That's
Year's
so
Eve
because
this
Bo
year.
would sleep more than that and still go.
The two boys are so
Yeah.
high sleep needs, but she's just a party animal. New Year's Eve this year, I gave her an hour and a half nap because we were taking her to our friends, and we did early New
Nice.
Year's at like 9.
So did you do just one of you just stayed sober?
Well, it was across the road.
Oh, that's
We literally
fun.
didn't. We
Oh my
just
God,
went over in our slippers. It was
perfect.
amazing. Across the road, we did early New Year's. We watched last year's fireworks on the TV, and we're like, oh, guys, it's midnight. And our neighbour had a son who's 5 months older than her, and he was like, "Mummy, please, bed," like exhausted. And she was looking at him like, "What's wrong with you?" And she was there trying to eat some crisps and dip, and like she would go and go and go
Living
and
her
go.
life.
And now that I've accepted that, it's actually great because she goes to bed after the boys every night. She doesn't really nap, which
I
means...
saw that you said that she won't sleep if she knows the boys are up.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
got
So she's
FOMO.
really switched on.
So now I put them to bed and she says goodnight to them, and then I go in her room and she says to me, she lists off all the people she knows, and I have to tell her that they're asleep.
That's so
And then
sweet.
she'll go, okay, and then she'll start going to sleep. If she knows that everyone
She is
in the
gonna
world
be the last girl at a party.
is asleep, she goes to sleep.
Good luck.
So the last thing I want to just touch on is you always say online about how you're a type B parent.
Yeah.
Were you a type B person before you became a parent?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so because I feel like I'm becoming more and more
So
type
you say
B.
you've become more type B. If you were already type B, it's just a train
You're like
wreck.
type
I don't know
ML.
what I am now.
I just feel like you almost have to. As some people probably go the other way, they get hyper
Yeah.
organised, whereas I have just sort of let go of the stress of
This is the thing. I
being
think
so organised.
I would always say to people, lower your standards. I say this to my partner because you have to lower your standards or you're
gonna
going
get
to be
so
miserable,
stressed.
and choose the things you really do care about. When Bo was little, he wasn't walking for a long time, and he would be crawling around airport floors, rolling around, and if he didn't move, he would be grumpier. He needed to let it
Yeah.
out. You know what? I just decided it's one
Let him
thing
get
I'm just going to
dirty.
let
Yeah, yeah.
happen. So lower your standards.
I actually feel
But
the same.
I do think as well, it just puts more stress on your brain. So like, I already had like dyslexia when I was younger. I don't know, whatever is going on, but it's just puts more stress on your brain that you
But I feel
physically just
like
have to let things slip.
If it works for you, it works for you. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I could be more type A when
Well,
I'm like
this is
late
the
for things
thing.
and whatever. But actually, I feel like especially having the third,
Yeah.
I'm much more tolerant of chaos and
Really?
mess and things. Obviously, I would love my house not to be messy, but I don't get myself so worked up about things
Yeah.
anymore. And I feel like you have a much more enjoyable time as a parent.
Well,
if
you
can
could
do
spend,
that.
I mean, last night, it's so nice in our new house. We've got this conservatory area, which I think naturally always becomes a playroom.
Yeah.
And you can turn the lights off in it and not look at it. And you don't know it's messy. Whereas in our old house, we were more on top of each other. And if the toys are out, it felt so messy. And you know what? Last night we were like, let's just leave the toys.
Oh, I love that. In my next
Quite
house,
freeing.
my prerequisite is a room to shut the door on
Yeah.
where the kids' stuff is.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for that.
But what was I going to say? I think every type B person also kind of wishes they were type A.
I know. Some
So-
days I think, oh, it would be really nice because you know what's so awkward? A few weeks ago, football club at school, the new term got released and it's like the most popular club, and I didn't get Alfie in last time, and I was like, and I had to email the coach and beg him to let him in because I was in the doghouse. This time, the places came live. I got a message from 3 mums saying to
bless
me, Charlie,
them.
don't forget, it's football
so
now. And I'm
lovely that
like,
they did that.
that's so sweet, but also, God, guys, I'm so useless. Like, that you all had to message me. And actually,
Yeah.
I was online ready.
But it's hard because you're kind of always just not, like when you're in an office job, you're sat there and you have your notepad out.
Yeah.
And I used to see everything I had to do. And now I'm just always on the go with the
know.
kids. And also if I'm late for something, it's because I've not been on my phone. I don't know what time it is. And like you're just so busy living your life.
I
that
know.
Things just get
We're
let
spinning
slip.
a lot of plates.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
okay. Sometimes the plate has to drop, and it's never the kids. It's usually
Yeah.
our plate that
Well,
drops.
and like you just have to choose. One day, maybe you're going to make your kids healthy meals. One day, you're going to have a great day out and do arts and crafts. Like last night, Martin came home and all the art stuff was out, and there was paint out, and we had to clean it up. But I felt like a good mum because I'd done arts and crafts with them.
And some days
dinner
the
wasn't
TV's on
made.
more, and they have fish
Yeah.
fingers and chips, and
But then
they're
maybe
really
you've had a
happy.
good work day, and you know,
Exactly.
you have to just let things.
You have to
slip.
pick.
Yeah.
So, to end it, I would love you to write out a post-it note. Imagine you were going to a new mum's house, or a mum's house, any
Yeah.
mum, and you were leaving and you thought, I'll just leave her a little note on her fridge.
Okay.
What would you put in there? It could be funny, it could be sweet, it could be anything you like.
Okay, I'll write this one. Your kids won't remember the clean house.
Yes.
They will remember their mum being present with them.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great one. I actually always think that because I think their memory of me is going to be tidying around them, and I really don't want that.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think you have to choose, but yeah, I just think like your presence is the most important thing, and like just being able to like look them in the eyes and like get on a level with them.
I know.
And sometimes just give yourself a break. Like you just can't do it all. And I say this because I'm saying this to myself because I stress out about it.
100%.
I can't do it all. I need to give myself a break.
I know.
I am doing a good job, and I like say it to my partner. I'm like, I did a good job today. I did. And he's like, I know.
We have to though.
I'm like,
because
look,
we
I
can
know
go
it's
to
messy.
bed.
I know it looks awful, but I promise, like, I feel like a good mum today. So
I say to him, you're not going to believe me, but I have been tidying for the last hour. And he's like, have you? Looking around, and I'm like, I promise I have.
Oh, the worst is when we used to have a cleaner, and Martin would come home and go, has the cleaner been today?
Yes, I paid her.
Yes, she did. And it's already messy again. And yes, it's because we were home. Like, if they've been in childcare, it's clean. But they've been in childcare, so.
I know. Give yourself a break. I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming. I feel like we could have chatted for like hours and hours more because we've got no
I hope
one
we hit all your
interrupting
points.
us.
I feel like we're just chatting away. In a
I
coffee shop.
know. Well, you have to come back soon.
That's what happens when you have no kids around.
I know, luxury. Well, I hope you don't have to rush home and you can like take your time.
Well, we're going to swimming lessons this afternoon.
Right, straight back to it.
Yeah, back.
Oh, well, thank you so much for taking the time to come to me today.
Thank you.
Thanks.